themselves. The AP Top 25 is out. Of course, there's the coaches poll. There's always slightly a little bit different. Not much. There's Georgia, Michigan, Texas at 3, Ohio State with that dramatic win against Notre Dame in what was a bad moment for Marcus Freeman and the Irish because they didn't have enough people on the field, and they ran right where there was a missing position on the right defensive end of Notre Dame. FSU survives. A scary Saturday. We discussed that quite a bit as well on Saturday's pregame, but those are the top 5. We'll get to some others in a minute.
Yeah, at least Dave Aranda and company from, what was it, the Texas or the Utah game when they didn't have 11 men on the field for back-to-back plays, and we were like, man, what the heck? How does that happen? And then Notre Dame does it like 2 weeks later. So I guess it happens more regularly than we thought. But, yeah, that was a really – gritty win for Ohio State no matter the circumstances. They're not out there going, oh, well, there's 10 guys in the field. Let's not score. That was a tough down-to-the-wire game that looked like it was going to be, the Irish standing tall in the end, and the Buckeyes got it done, so kudos to them. Texas obviously didn't have to really break much of a sweat. Georgia is Georgia, and Florida State, shown some moxie, and we're able to go out and take care of business against a Clemson team that's had a lot of success against them. So that was big time for Mike Norvell and the Noles.
Garrett, approximately how deep into that Florida State-Clemson game did we all get a text of naughty language, give up, it's over?
The white flag.
It was pretty early.
Like maybe the 3 drives into the game.
Yeah.
But the Seminoles have the best, most impressive win so far through the first, 4 or 5. They've played 5 games. They're off this week. Also, top 25, a couple of other nuggets I want to get. If you look at the top 10, you have Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State are all not only in the Big Ten, they're all 3 in the Big Ten on the eastern side of the divisions. You have the Pac-12, of course, with both Washington, USC, Oregon, and Utah, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We know what Oregon did to Deion and the Colorado Buffaloes and kind of smoked them pretty good, and now we'll see how Colorado bounces back against USC. There's Oklahoma 14, Alabama with a win against Ole Miss. Not a lot of people thought that. Well, not a lot. There were some that wondered if they'd get that done. They did. And then the Oregon State, Washington State, great for Washington State. Like both of those teams, rooting for both of them myself, but they flipped pretty much. Washington State now 16, Oregon State, the Beavers, at 19.
Cam Ward is fun to watch, man. He started out just like a house on fire in that game. I thought that was great. The Pac-12 is wild, and I can't wait to see how they separate that out. Washington is maybe the best team in the Pac-12. They have an argument to be the best team in the Pac-12, but because they haven't played Deion yet, they don't have Caleb Williams, and they're not doing it without their quarterback like Utah. I think they maybe fallen into.
Are they not the best team maybe in the country?
They might. They are legitimately really, really good. They maybe haven't had the game, opponent yet to show that. They had Cal dispensed very quickly in that game, and we're seeing a different kind of top 10, which I think is great and proves what maybe that parity is coming in college football faster than we were all ready for, at least parity by college football standards.
Well, I don't know if you could have a top 5 with more blue-bloodish representation than you could turn a couple of around, but that top 5 is pretty blue-bloody right there.
Yeah, Georgia, Michigan, Texas, Ohio State, FSU, and not far behind Alabama, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, and USC.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that top 5 is pretty salty. They've got the Pac-12 set up to have some monster top 10 versus top 10 type matchups coming up here in the next few weeks, and yeah, how do you separate those teams until they start playing each other? So, great job by Utah to get a win without Cam Rising again, and to do it and do it without too much of a hardship. They just keep going about their business. It's so impressive. But yeah, that Utah, Oregon, SC, Washington clump. Washington's got a sensational offense. It is ridiculous how that offense is operating right now. So that's going to be all sorts of fireworks and fun. Bama, great win for them over Ole Miss. I doubted a little bit. I just thought Kiffin had nothing up his sleeve. What was that? I guess that's why they had so much gamesmanship, because they realized we're probably not going to beat them. So let's try to get in their heads and mess my head up in the process. So next time, I'm just not going to try to overthink that one. But good job by Bama. Oklahoma, I think it's amazing that their defense has progressed as quickly as it has. Red River is going to be really fun here in a couple of weeks, so long as they both handle their business this weekend, which, as you pointed out with Texas and KU, like that could get interesting. But Red River's shaping up to be, I don't know, a super matchup, but just a different feel from both sides of the teams. I don't know. It's just, this is a different Oklahoma team. This is not the Lincoln Riley offenses. This is winning with defense and Danny Stutzman having huge games and things like that. So it's definitely different. But yeah, Washington State, Oregon State was a lot of fun, and I know you need to go through the rest of them here.
No, that's good. I mean, Fresno State, they right there at 25. Hey, let's make sure we include somebody who's a group of 5 with Fresno State right there at 25.
Well, good for KU to get in the poll.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're the only non-Oklahoma, Texas Big 12 team that's now in that poll. That was a big joke last week, right? Because those were the only 2, I believe, because somebody fell out. K-State fell out. And so, yeah, Kansas now in there at 24 and a big opportunity. They could jump up into the teens with a win this weekend against Texas. So nice and deserving of them to be in there. But you get that batch of SEC teams rounding out there at the very end. Tennessee, Florida, Missouri, all there. Ole Miss. So 4 of like the last 6 of them.
20, 21, 22, 23.
5 of them jump in.
Yeah. All right.
That's okay, though.
A couple of notes about Ohio State.